What is up, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be sharing my experience with California smog and as a car enthusiast. And not just that, because it doesn't just affect the car enthusiast, it can also affect just the regular anybody with just a car, really. So California has the strictest smog restrictions here, and I'm going to be showing you guys how that has affected me throughout my ownership of having cars here in California. I do have a car that's modified, and then I also have another car that isn't modified. And I still, even though the car isn't modified, I still run into issues with smog. And I'm also going to be sharing how you can get around them, because there are ways you can just get around it. But let me start off with my daily driver. That's the one I'm going to be driving today, because while I share my experience, I'm also gonna repair a flat on my other car. So I'll show you guys both of my cars, and I'll tell you guys why neither car can pass smog. Starting with my base model Acura RSX, it has a check engine light, as you can see, and that check engine light is due to a bad catalytic converter. So in order for me to get that fixed, it would have to be done with a carb legal catalytic converter only, and that would cost me $1,000. But that's not the route I chose to go, because I paid $2,400 for this car, and it just doesn't make sense to pay almost half of what the car is worth in one part that I can just buy another one for $100. It isn't carb legal, but we'll do the same job and fix the car. So for those who are new to my channel, this is also my car. It is another RSX, but what's cool about this one is it's modified. So yeah. So the reason this car won't pass smog is for quite a few reasons now. Yes, I do have the correct intake to pass smog, but this car is also modified. It has all the bolt-ons, and it's also on nitrous. It has what California smog checks for a few things. I'll put the thing, because it's a lot of parts that they check, that you need to have original or carb legal parts for it to pass smog, because they check this car. When you take it to a smog shop, they check it visually, and then they'll check the emissions, and then on top of that they'll plug it into the ECU, and they'll read the car through there too. So that is a big issue for me, the ECU, because this car does not have the original ECU. If you guys know anything about modifying the RSX, you know that for the 05 and the 06, you need to use a 2002 to 2004 ECU to modify it. So that's what this car has. This car has a different ECU from a different RSX that was modified. So whenever they would plug it in to the smog place, it's going to show a different VIN number. That's what they've told me. They've told me that it shows a different VIN number, and for that they can't pass it, because all the VIN numbers need to match. The VIN number on the engine needs to match the VIN number on the car, and the VIN number also needs to match on the ECU, and it also has to match the paperwork, you know, like the pink slip and stuff. So that is the big issue that I always deal with, because yes, there's smog shops that will do it for you. Obviously there's a fee that you have to pay, and it's usually around $200-300 now. But for this car, I've had to pay a lot more. Sometimes I've paid almost $500, and it's because not any smog place can do it. So the way they've explained to me is they use a special software where they can like override all that information, enter it manually, and not every smog place uses the same software. So maybe they're just getting me, but I mean, I don't really care. I just care about getting my car registered, and even then, like, I mean, it's not really for sure that the cop won't just pull me over for whatever other reason. So yeah, that's kind of why I haven't really smogged this car in the past 2 years. This car, pretty much since I've started this uploading on YouTube, like, this car hasn't been registered. This entire time it's just been like not registered. I've just been driving it on the streets like that. But this year, this month, I do want to get that fixed. I do have an appointment with DMV, so hopefully I can get this car smogged and get this car back on the road. So this tire has a flat, that's why it's got like no air. So I'm gonna take it off and we're gonna take it to a tire shop, get it patched, and then get it put back in and be able to drive this car again. Tires in. That's a big ass fucking nail that somehow got in there. So yeah, I'm gonna switch over to head cam and then I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm gonna do to register this car that is not modified, because I went a different route than paying the $1,000. So yeah, let me tell you guys about that. All right, hopefully you guys can see. So what I'm gonna do to fix this car and get it registered, which I mean I actually already got it registered, was I had to go find a shop that would smog it like that. And I mean I'm gonna tell you guys the truth, I paid $300 to do that. And I also want to get my car fixed too. I didn't just want to postpone it. I mean, check engine lights for the catalytic converter. I need a new catalytic converter, so I ended up buying one. And if you guys don't know, I know I mentioned it on one of my videos, and a lot of you guys weren't aware that this is a thing, but you can't just buy an aftermarket catalytic converter anymore and ship it to California. They'll cancel it. It's not legal to ship anything here that is not CARB legal. Back in 2019 when I was modifying my other car, you were still able to do that, and there was a way around it because you could say that it was for off-road use only. Now you can't even ship it for off-road use only, so I don't even know how you would get one other than doing it the way I did it. So the way I did it was I ended up buying the catalytic converter, and then I had it shipped to a different state where I have family in, and I sent them a UPS label and we shipped it to me like that. So I had to ship the catalytic converter twice in order for me to get it. Looks like they're politicking here because I can't ship it here. I tried shipping it through different websites. I used eBay, I used just other websites that were on there that I'm not really familiar with, but the biggest one was eBay. I'll put it up on the screen what it says right there. If you guys try to even buy it, they says do not buy it, we will cancel your order. So that's what they were doing to me. I know this is a thing with headers. If you're gonna get a header for your car, you're probably not gonna be able to do that because it needs to be a CARB legal header, and I mean, like, you don't really want that. So yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna have to do that and I know it's for a lot of parts. I think for ECUs too, they don't allow that now, so I don't know how people are getting them. If you guys know, please let me know because I'm curious. So with that catalytic converter that I have, it's gonna fix this car. It'll remove the check engine light. To me, like, the catalytic converter I bought, I mean, I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if it's worth the $900 difference. And that was the cheapest place. I mean, there's places, if you go to AutoZone and try to get one, it's like $1,400. So that's already over half of what I paid for this car, and I'm not gonna pay for that in one part. Especially one part that's not even gonna improve the car. I mean, it's just gonna repair it. That's a couple $100 less than what the previous owner paid for a new engine for this car. So I mean, it doesn't make sense, seems a little excessive. And the reason I went this route is because I'm gonna be giving this car to my youngest brother once he gets his license, hopefully in the middle of next year. And once I do that, that's gonna be his problem. He can smog it however he wants. If he wants to go the legal route and not have to deal with crooked smogs anymore, and that's his choice. Because it would have cost me at least $1,000 plus the smog, plus the install. And I'd rather pay half that and get it done. The car's gonna be fixed. It's gonna run the same as it would with a CARB legal one, but it's gonna cost me half the price, half the cost, and I don't have to deal with it in 2 years. My brother's not gonna have to deal with it in 2 years. Who knows if we even have this car in 2 years? You know, so that's kind of why I went with it. I mean, even if he does smog it again, pays another $300, then we're still gonna be less than that. And who knows if this car will still be around in 4 years. So that's kind of why I went that route instead of getting the carb legal intake. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and let me know, share you guys' experience with me if you guys live in California and deal with the same issues that I have to deal with, because it could be a pain, and it could be a little disheartening, especially considering I have one that I haven't been able to smog for 2 years now. Like I don't even really want to buy parts for it anymore, because if I can't modify it anymore, I may have to move on to a new project. All right, tire is now patched. Time to head back home and put it on. So I'm pulling up home already. I'm gonna pick it up once I put the tire on. All right, so we got the tire fixed. It actually had the screw and a nail in there, so we had to put 2 patches in. And I do plan on replacing it, but like I said, I want to make sure I'm able to register it before I put any more money into this car. So yeah, so let me put this in. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Like I said, I do plan on posting more videos this coming up year on both my cars. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.